What's up, my people? How not deal waiting they have waiting this off. Yes, so I am back again. Guys, I've noticed a few things and I want to share my observations with you all. First, let's talk about Mohbad, the wife, and Mohbad's father. Yeah, they are loggerheads, right? Mohbad is out of the picture. The wife granted an interview recently. I mean, after years of fighting with this man, the question out there is this the right time? Personally, I would say I'm indifferent about it. I think that's like the best way to describe it. I'm indifferent about it, but I think I'm probably leaning towards it's a good idea to grant an interview around this time after you've seen and watched or heard the man's interview and his motive, understand, his plan. I think it's kind of a perfect timing. But then again, this came with mixed reactions. There's another thing that is currently trending on social media. Is the resemblance after Trudy shared the pictures he took with Mohbad's wife and the child. A lot of people were saying the child looks like the granddad, even looks like the dad and the granddad. My own question now is, do you think it's advisable to go ahead to request for a DNA test? I think it's advisable. That will solve a lot of things. Even though the child looks like Mohbad, even though I think the child looks like Mohbad, it is important that they go ahead and do it.
Of course, yes. I just want to have my own thoughts.
But do you need permission from him?
He knows about all of this, but I feel like he doesn't, he knows. But my father is 100% sure that Liam is his grandchild. Yeah. The one with the other, Liam looks like him.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
No. Like I said, I observed some things, right? The lady said that his own lawyer wrote to them. They replied, and later this man requested for a DNA test. I think it was also to his lawyers, but before then he has granted multiple interviews. I mean, most of us saw a couple of them on social media. And she said that he's also trying to protect himself. She did not give details about what is inside of like the condition that they've given. That what if the child turns out to be Mohbad's child? What should we do to you? Maybe a lawyer. She didn't share that. They didn't share that with us. Maybe a lawyer had said, look, this is what will happen. That's what will happen. Maybe they gave him a condition because she only shared the man's response, saying that the man was trying to protect himself.
Yeah. So one of the things you declined was not to talk about.
Not to talk about to anybody, not even the press. Secondly, he said I should not sue him once the DNA is done.
But the lady was trying to say that feel like she's being used because of the enmity between Mohbad's father and, the ex-wife. That's Mohbad's mom. And there's another thing that I said that is shocking. I don't really understand. No, I'll be lying if I say I don't understand. She said that the man is jealous of his grandson. Now, even though it's hard to believe, we've seen situations, I have seen situations where a mother, and even situations where a father is jealous of their kids. It happens. You think you've seen life? Yes. Some parents get jealous when their kids reach a milestone or attain a certain point that they never thought or achieve something big. Yes, some parents get jealous. Yeah, it's sad. Sometimes if the child might not have that much, but the woman will just be jealous or the man will just be jealous. Your own mother. We know that happens. Or is that what they are experiencing in this situation? I don't know. I'm not in their family.
The problem is more like a competition between him and Liam.
Your father-in-law and your son?
Yes.
A competition.
It sounds funny, but that's the actual truth. Then I said, okay. Then it was like, what effort? He said it in Yoruba. I don't know if you understand Yoruba.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so he said, lawyer promise tí mo pè pé kó gbé kan mú kó fún mi ní nǹkan mọ́ mi tó bá mi sọ wípé ó bímọ ṣé ọmọ mi náà fẹ́ máa lálẹ̀ fún mi ni. Like, I don't know if I can translate it in English. So he actually said, he like what effrontery
What
does
kind
my
of
lawyer
mind does your lawyer have?
my husband's lawyer has.
Right.
He requested for his son's properties, and he was telling him that he has a son. So like, who is his grandchild to start asking him to start dictating what he wants?
That's why you talk about the competition between
Exactly.
him and the grandchild.
Yeah.
So he said to his son's lawyer, who is the grandchild,
to
challenge him
exactly
on Mohbad's
my husband's property. Yeah.
I'm not in the family at all. Now, it kind of makes sense that she's in the middle of all this chaos. It's already chaotic, because she said something. She said they were friends. And truly, there's evidence for that. We saw a footage or a video of both of them singing, wearing white in a video, laughing and talking. So that means they were cool before. So what happened? Mohbad is dead. And I don't understand why she's confused, because that man just lost his son. There is no way. He only likes you because of his son. And she said that it was even because of that man they got married, that they were both young, but the man said, you have to go. That's how the man loved her. And the same man now is now saying that, look, I don't like you. You have to do certain things. She said when she called the man, that, okay, what do you want? Said, you have to bring Liam to me. Don't take it to the grandmother's house. So there is already a fight. She's in the middle of a crossfire. And there's already a fight between the man and the ex-wife.
I think he's settling to you.
What do you want?
A very young woman, and at the same time, when Mohbad was alive, he accepted Liam as his son. And I'm trying to figure out the reason why others will not accept the guy as his son. Is it that when
the rest of the family
accepted him as their son? Okay, just your father-in-law. And I'll just say you should still go ahead and do the DNA in a reputable place.
The question.
So I'm just thinking, what's probably, intensify the whole thing could also be the fact that she's closer to Liam's grandfather and grandmother than him. That could also cause like a lot of problems.
It was like, why do I have to take Liam away from him? Why do I have to take Liam to my mother-in-law's place on the highland? That means that is my husband rented apartment.
Right.
That was not supposed to bring him over to meet him in a corridor, because himself and my mother-in-law, they are not in good terms.
In fact, she said that there was a time when the man was trying to pass this narrative, was trying to actually fuel it, that she poisoned Mohbad before he died. So he later discovered that it was the brother-in-law that made the food the guy ate, before he now withdrew the case that, okay, she's not the one who made the food. Like, if she were the one, it would have been. And she also said she recorded that conversation, that he had called Mohbad's mother to tell him that.
So I think I remember there was a time he was here for an interview, and one of the, that's your father-in-law now, one of the questions we asked him was why was he insisting on the DNA? And I remembered him saying that because the son had told him at some point, or told a friend at some point, that the baby was not his. So do you think he has a right to ask for the DNA, knowing that somebody has mentioned something like, likely this baby may not be his?
As a father, I think, it's like legally doesn't have the right.
Okay.
But because I feel like I have nothing to hide, so I feel like he asked me for DNA is not an issue.
Okay.
But it's just the way he's asking me, like, yes, it's like, because he knows so that presently, like, I'm actually, let me just say, the most bullied widow in Nigeria right now. And I feel like as a father-in-law, we were friends. Like that man is actually my friend.
Wow.
Years before this whole thing, like, he was my right hand. That was his right hand.
Were you legally married?
Yes. We had traditional marriage.
Okay, traditional marriage.
Yes.
Okay.
We're not legal. It was just traditional
That's
marriage.
legal enough. You're wife to the family.
Of course I am,
Yeah.
So, at first, when this DNA narrative came out, I told you, like I said before, I called him, but wasn't talking about it. He was talking about something else entirely. And it was, I saw him going to an interview talking about the DNA. And I was like, at first he said because the Nigerians wanted hits.
Okay.
Later he moved to saying my husband's friend told him that he only had sex with me once. Like, why would I tell him that I'm pregnant? That one sex can never lead to pregnancy and all that, Meanwhile, this same person that he said told him these things did not follow us back home.
Away.
That was the person that fought with him at the show. So how come this same person
is the one
insisting that told him, because this same person did not go to the house with us. It was just me, my husband, his brother, and the other same members. And he has found a way of convincing people that this DNA is one way or the other linked to my husband's demise. And Nigerians tend to work on their emotions. Do you understand? It's like it's just few people that would think outside the box. Do you understand? No, and he's been trying to convince people in one way or the other, saying I'm promiscuous, I'm this, I'm that, and most people do not even know that he was even the one that wanted this baby. I mean, my father-in-law just left me and my husband. We're still young.
Yeah.
I got pregnant when I was 23 years. But most people do not even know that this same man fasted with me, my husband, and himself for 7 days.
You were pregnant.
We went to different places. He took me to mountains, churches. He gave me so many things to eat and drink.
Wow.
Do you understand?
So that you can get pregnant.
Yes. Because I don't know. He was just insisting that the Holy Spirit tells him that I should get pregnant, and there is a reason for it. And
Okay.
But I think I have an idea of what is going on, because saying that, the man is jealous of his son, of his grandson. The man wants, Mohbad's property. And lastly, you're saying that the man is not happy that you're taking Liam to see the grandmother without coming to see him. So I think the whole thing here is just the man didn't feel like she's on the same team as himself. I always say this: the friend of your enemy, is your enemy, and the friend of your friend is your friend, or the enemy of your enemy is your friend. That kind of situation. Again, it's crazy, but I think that's what is going on here. If I could, so I don't think this man is. He might have a little bit of, that in his mind, maybe property, he wants some properties and so. I think what he needs, what he wants is attention. I'm talking about that lady acknowledging him more than what was happening then before he fled up. So, it's just so crazy, seeing the man and Mohbad's wife still fighting till date. And I've said it before, and we are not even talking about Mohbad's death. We're not talking about the investigation. Nobody even care about the autopsy anymore. Nothing is being done. It's like a family fight now, But yeah, what do you think?
Because that man is actually my friend. We were literally close.
Yes, I've seen some text messages.
We were very close. He's like a father to me. That is one thing that the media did not get to know. He's like he was my friend in that marriage. So he was even the one that came to me to tell me that, I'm now that I'm pregnant, that we need to get things done. That if I was to be his daughter, he would never allow me to train my child in my husband's house because he was not married, because he's not married to me. That I should go to my parents' house, I should get a list and send it to him.
So your father-in-law is the one that even encouraged you guys to
That is the funniest thing. Left to me, I won't get married because I knew my husband loved me and he knows I love him too. So we just want to live our life. Right. So he was even the one that initiated that marriage.
Right. And he was present, of course, during the marriage.
He was the happiest. He called me early morning on my introduction, on my marriage, on my engagement day, I think around 6 a.m. He called me to pray for me. It was the happiest that day. He was the happiest.
Okay, the next one here is there's something that they're trying to do here, right? I'd seen this before. I talked about this with somebody and they was like, this is political. Whatever is going on, everything that we are seeing, Two-Face Idibia and Natasha is political, and that it favors Natasha more. Because I have a couple of friends at Edo State, because I schooled there, right? So I called them what is going on in that place? Say, what's up? This is political, and he wouldn't be surprised that in the future they will push an agenda that's against this woman. And of course, he made mention of the fact that this woman is also using Two-Face Idibia, to push her political career. But it's like a win-win. Two-Face himself is getting, a strong woman from a rich home and stuff like that. So we talked about this, and I didn't see that as newsworthy and stuff, just a normal conversation. But you see, I'm seeing this thing, and it's kind of like making small sense. Like, to be honest, like, is this really political? I hope you're not being played here. So they are insinuating that she takes drugs. So let me tell you something. A video that surfaced online during the time the whole Two-Face and Idibia news was trending, where she was like talking to her people, and she's into politics. She's a politician. So of course she will speak their language, speak what they can understand, and act kind of, act like them, their mannerisms and stuff, right? So that was captured and put out there, even though, right, there were other footages about her praying. But the one that garnered a lot of views was actually the one of her, talking aggressively, right? And people were like, "Oh, you sure say this? You sure?" There were a couple of comments that was like, "You sure say this guy not going to take drugs or something?" Then later, it became a news on its own. What am I trying to say? A story was formulated that she is taking drugs.
The policemen and the military are ready to work with us to give us back. It was not like this yesterday, but right now, the military and the police are fighting for our justice. I want to speak something to you. There is a problem. If they think that I, or the commissioner, or Saide, or Sifo, cannot hold our people down, they will let us go inside there to go and see what happens. That is where the problem is. So please, until I carry this microphone and say, "Oh yeah, let me move up, then we will continue, but for now, hope, so that we can go and see what's happening here." Are we okay?
Among other stories, there was one that was shared, It says here, because those of you in this house who have, I think it was QT Jews that shared this. Those of you in the house who have dealt with junkies before, please, what is this injection that makes the taker's blood splash when he or she injects? Because when Natasha's house girl helped inject her blood was just splashing everywhere. And according to our source, who is not the nanny, it is normal that whenever Honorable takes her injection, her blood splashes everywhere. So what they're trying to pass here is she's injecting herself with drugs. And to be honest, again, I don't believe this. No matter how hard you want a report to be true, does it really mean that that report is true? Even though everybody just believe this, no questions asked. Like, how did you guys come up with this? Blood splashing and everything. How did you guys see this? And it's not even the nanny. That even make it unbelievable. Like, you can't even... And everybody believed it. In as much as we want to believe such news, you want karma to happen to Two-Face. It does not mean that we should pass something that is really not true, or what the people want to hear. And he continued, said, "Now, for Tubabao, this means any substance abuse isn't the problem because it's now very evident that Honorable is also a junkie. Also the lies, like she's a spontaneous liar. She goes around collecting money from people and promising them contracts. There have been instances where she gives out her driver and other workers' numbers out and says it's Governor Obaseki's number." Now I'm beginning to think, is this political at this point? Moving on to the next one, on a lighter note. here is Vicky James, talking about her husband being. You see, I want to say this about Vicky James. I've said this, is the consistency for me, even though there are some things that she has shared on social media, I'll be like, man, this is too much, right? One thing is certain, she loved this man. One thing is certain, she really loved the man. And I think that's what we should be celebrating. She said something recently. She said that if a social media people quarter of my marital life, some people will just faint.
And it does not actually make sense to me, because why would you think we're putting our full life out there? Did we show you where we're having our bath? Did you show you where we are brushing our teeth? After we finish, when I'm giving my husband breakfast, did I show you? When I'm giving him lunch, did I show you? When I'm giving him dinner, did I show you? When he did something that got me upset and maybe I'm quarreling with him, did I show you? What of when he did the same thing? Did I show you? Or when we are happy, so happy that sometimes we're even so happy that on the bed we are behaving like children. Did I say if I show you that one, you just faint? Because I've not even shown you anything. You say I've shown you. I've not shown you. If I show you 100 of our life, that means some people will just faint. And to be honest, it's because of my love for them. The heart that God has given me. The heart of the Lord. If not, because no, if you look at the response, you will not imagine that. What if I now actually say I should just let me?
Yeah, that's what she shared. But to be honest, right, a lot of men like a woman like Vicky James, even though they won't confidently admit on social media, a lot of men like their women to praise them, not to belittle them, which is why too much of that will get to a point where it seems like you're belittling this guy because you're doing too much. But she's trying to tell us that she's not even sharing a lot, on social media. I mean, I think she's sharing a lot. But who cares about that? It's their life. The reason why I'm saying this is, one thing is for sure, I think this woman genuinely loves her husband. Now, when you are in love, you might not even know there are some things that you shouldn't say about the man. But when a woman loves, Ari Kelly is right. And it's not a joke. It's not because it's a song. It's actually a truth. When a woman loves, she loves for real. Every woman will not be yes, I know there are some women that are crazy out there, but most women, that they love for real, because of they have, women are more deep in emotions than men. Men are logical in thinking. Women are very emotional. And that's why it's, when they love somebody, they don't know how to hide it. They know, that they love you. Anyways, guys, this next one is about Nedu. I'd just like to talk about it. So Nedu put out a video recently, and people went there and was like, oh yeah, go back to your content creation and all that. And of course, it got a lot of attention, even though I think some of those skits don't really get so much views. It's beginning to get so much views, of course, attention is on him and stuff like that. Now, a guy, I think is he Mr. Nigeria or something? His name is Ugo, was interviewed recently, and I'm going to share my opinion about that. His interview. I think it is the Mr. Nigeria. He was interviewed by Lucky Udu. This man said that Nedu charged him 5 million naira to be on his show, and there's another thing he said. He said Lady told him what to say on that show, that this wasn't their agreement.
How many of you saw this video?
Poor girls turned me on. The poorer the girl, the more attracted I am to her.
A lot of you be wondering why a guy like this would have said something like that. Today he's here to clear the air because he was forced to say that very statement. It never truly came from him. This is his story.
It's against my character to say such a thing because poor girls don't turn me on. No. Nedu told me that he owns Honest Bunch podcast. But he said I'll have to pay a certain amount, 5 million naira. That if I really want to present this topic today, that he's giving me the option of, I have to say what he tells me to say. He now said, I have to mention a celebrity's name to make the thing go viral. He specifically mentioned Very Dark Man. He said I should mention Very Dark Man. So since the owner is telling me this, I went on the podcast and said the things Nedu asked me to say. I was so depressed, so I decided to end my life. In my lifetime, I've met manipulators, I've met narcissists, I've met gaslighters, and I've met scammers, but Nedu is a discovery. Hi, my name is Ugo Wokolo, Mr. Nigeria Supranational. I'm sure a lot of you saw the video that went viral a couple of weeks back. I was actually manipulated. A day before the podcast, Nedu told me that there's a development. Someone else is coming to make the conversation interesting. I was like, but that's not our agreement now.
I mean, this is something you paid for, exactly, right? For yourself.
I paid to promote myself. So why are you bringing someone else? They now said, oh, there's no problem now. He's going to make it interesting. Don't worry. And I said, no. 5 million is not something that people pluck from tree now. Exactly. It's my hard-earned money. So why are you reneging on our agreement? So after a lot of back and forth, they do now finally agreed to refund me 2 million from the 5 million so that I can appear with someone else on the program. So he said he's going to refund me the money after I make the appearance. So the day came, the day of the podcast. I said to Nedu, I would like to see you for briefing. Let me know what I'm going to say and everything. Because I already had what I was going to say, but I just needed to know. I just need to get some briefing.
So it's your first time?
Yeah, it's my first time actually. So Nedu now met me and said, yeah, it's a good thing, because he was actually talking to his co-host and they've dissected the topic and they think it's not something that's going to go viral. That if I really want to present this topic today, that he's giving me the option of, I have to say what he tells me to say. I was like, no, now I have my topic already. Why will you tell me what to say? He said no, that this is the way it works, that he has to tell me what to say. This is his program and he calls the shot. I was speechless. I was dumbfounded. I was like, bro, this is not what to discuss. He now said, number one, he's going to tell me what to say, and I have to mention the celebrity's name to make the thing go viral. He specifically mentioned Very Dark Man. He said I should mention Very Dark Man. I was like, Very Dark Man doesn't have anything to do with my topic, because my topic is about rich men getting married to broke girls, or girls who they are in a better financial position than. But he now said I should say something like, poor girls turn me on. The poorer the girl, the more attracted I am to her. And I said, no. I'm not going to say that. That is not my topic. If you insist I have to say this, then I think I have to back off. I'll just take my money and leave. He now said that he's sorry that he can't refund because the money has been distributed to his workers. That the only thing that he can do is I should go back and come back on a later date when I'm interested or when I'm ready. I said, but I'm ready now. You're giving me a new topic and everything. He now said, that's how he's done, that I have to accept this or go back and come back. So I had to.
I've said it before. Nedu wouldn't be the first person to do this. It's not a new thing. And he knows. It is because Nedu is being dragged now. Trust me, people do it. People collect money for interviews. You know these things happen. The interview that is supposed to be free, for you to be on that. Now, the reason why they will collect money from you is maybe you are not trending. You probably might not give them the views that they want. So they will request for money. Like I told you guys how it's vile in the entertainment industry. If DJs feel they collect money to play your song for 3 minutes, tell me how some presenters, even for TVC and other this thing, you think they don't collect money? Let's be real for once. So he said Nedu collect 5 million. And after Nedu told him what to say, he said, no, I'm not going to say that. And Nedu tell him that this thing will not trend. We will need attention and stuff like that. Same thing other people do. You think you're going to be straightforward you think you will see people that are straightforward in the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry is not meant for you. Like I said it was in the previous video, the one before that one, where I said that there are people that Nedu have helped. Just like Josh Sufoni said Nedu helped him when he was in the UK. He had nowhere to stay, he was stranded. Nedu paid for a hotel for him to stay, right? You know, that one is positive news, right? About Nedu. And you don't think that there will also be negative news as well about Nedu? is not perfect. And this guy, Gege, did not say they charge him 5 million because Gege is trending. Gege will automatically give them views. Now, Saida Bodge came out to say, oh, they edited the part where I said somebody sent a message to me. They only promoted the parts where I said, I did this, I did that, I did that. And it wasn't me, it was somebody else who did it. But they sent it to me, so I was only sharing that person's message to me. Although I like the fact that she made it clear that it wasn't really needed, that it was the editors. It is a normal thing. Go and watch the full video, then you wouldn't see that there. So Saida Bodge put that out, and that one is trending as well. Like, oh, it was a message sent to me. So they edited that part where I said it was sent to me. To promote that is a promotional copy, like a promotional video for attention. Go and watch the full video, then you will see that there. So Saida Bodge just said, I'm like, should this even be like news? A promotional video is like parts joined together to push, a particular narrative, which might be wrong if you just watch only the promo clip without watching the full clip. It's a normal thing everybody have been doing. I don't understand, but I think sometimes when somebody is just being dragged, we just find different reasons actually to continue talking about that person.
As a lady, 24 hours after a man takes your number, you should bill him to know he is capable, or else you're wasting your time.
Are you billing because you're hungry?
No, I'm not hungry because I'm beautiful. You saw me with a good wig.
So I should pay you for being beautiful.
Exactly. You should pay me every day for being beautiful. It's not easy to be beautiful. Do you know how much skincare costs?
But why should I pay you for being beautiful? That's, to me, is a ratchet thinking. Your mama, okay, why I'm sorry.
For you, it's a ratchet thinking. For me, it's a broke man thinking. For you, to think that you cannot pay me for being beautiful, that's a broke man's thinking.
But anyways, guys, that's where I'm going to hold it. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, until we see you next time. Peace.